Hungary escalated its clash with Brussels on Friday, as Foreign Minister Peter Szijjarto accused the European Union of deploying powerful forces to undermine the country's energy security. Speaking at a press conference in Budapest, he said Brussels was working to sever Hungary from Russian energy supplies.
The large, powerful forces are working in Brussels to cut us off from energy resources coming from Russia. Powerful forces are working in Brussels to jeopardize Hungary's energy supply security. Powerful forces are working in Brussels to put the Hungarian economy up against difficult challenges. However, we have made those agreements in both Washington and Moscow that are necessary for Hungary's energy supply to be secure. And now we must fight in Brussels to ensure that, thanks to these agreements, we can maintain the security of our country's energy supply and the results of the reduction in utility costs in the long term.
His remarks came just days after the EU agreed to phase out Russian gas imports by late 2027 under the RepowerEU initiative. Hungary voted against the proposal, calling it physically impossible and warning that it would directly threaten national energy stability. Budapest has now launched a legal challenge at the European Court of Justice, a move Slovakia is also considering. Szijjarto insisted Hungary had already secured the necessary energy guarantees through what he described as essential agreements with both Washington and Moscow. He argued that the government must now fight in Brussels to ensure these bilateral deals remain untouched and that Hungary's low utility costs can be preserved. In 2025 alone, Hungary imported 8.5 million tons of crude oil and more than 7 billion cubic meters of gas from Russia, figures that underline the country's deep energy dependence on Moscow. Beyond energy, Szijjarto struck a confident tone on Hungary's economy, calling it the most attractive investment environment in Europe, crediting the country's flat tax system and strategic partnerships with global investors.
The fact that today Hungary has the most attractive investment environment in Europe, one of the most important foundations of which is Europe's lowest flat taxes. However, in such a difficult period, which is particularly bad, uncertain, and unpredictable for the global economy, the country's economic stability can only be maintained if we have serious allies. And the serious allies here are the companies that create jobs in Hungary, carry out investments, and bring modern technology.
He noted that Hungary has now signed 99 strategic cooperation agreements, including deals with major German, American, and Chinese firms. The appearance concluded with the signing of a new strategic cooperation pact with Masterplast, underscoring Hungary's push to deepen economic alliances amid rising tensions with Brussels.